So I had put out a video earlier this morning talking about Coby White's impending free agency and discussing what the Bulls should do on whether or not to extend him this offseason. And in that video, I talked about how I assumed Lonzo Ball was going to be coming back healthy to start the season, jokingly saying maybe this is me just being a little too optimistic. And as I'm in the process of uploading said video, we get this tweet from Adrian Wojnarowski citing there is a growing possibility that Lonzo Ball will need a third surgery on his right knee, which would actually be the fourth surgery that he's had on said knee, dating all the way back to when he had that first torn meniscus after his rookie season with the Lakers, which would likely require another 6 months of rehab. As if we couldn't get any worse news regarding Lonzo Ball after it was announced just a few weeks ago that he would be shut down for the season. 6 months, again, depending on when he actually gets the surgery, that is if in fact he gets the surgery, as Woj mentioned, it's a possibility. But 6 months from now puts us at September. And of course, you know it's likely going to be longer than that because it always is with Lonzo Ball and his recovery. That puts us at training camp and potentially into the start of the season. Man, I really feel for Lonzo. I really do. I know some people will say, well, whatever, he's getting his millions of dollars to not even play, but come on now. You know, for these guys, obviously the money is important, but this is the game they love and literally has been a core facet of their life since they were little kids. Basketball is their life. And for Lonzo Ball, it's really starting to become a likely possibility that this is a career-ending injury. I mean, when you have 3 surgeries on the same knee in the span of 2 years, doctors can't figure out what's going on. He continues to experience discomfort. He's been out of the lineup since January of 2022. So many missed games. He's now 25. Hasn't been able to stay healthy throughout his career since entering the NBA. And now another setback. I hate to be such a pessimist, and maybe I'm being one because I was such an optimist before, but I have a hard time seeing how Lonzo recovers from this, and this doesn't end up becoming career-ending. Now, he may play again in the NBA. I don't think it's a scenario where he'll never return to the court, but he's likely never going to be coming back as the same player. Not when he's had this many surgeries on his knee, and not when he's missed this much time from the game. I mean, we as Bulls fans know all too well how this goes. With Derrick Rose, he was just never the same player after having all those injuries. And to be honest, I don't even know if Lonzo will be able to sustain the kind of success Rose actually had when he finally did come back and he had a decent career, rest of his career post-injury. And what do the Bulls do at this point? I know there are hardship exceptions, ways they can get out of his contract to free up that cap space when a player has a potential career-ending injury, but that's such a risk to just do away with Lonzo like that, when sure, there is the possibility that he comes back healthy and is the same Lonzo as before, but the guy still has 2 years left on his deal, making close to $20 million per year. That's killing this team, especially when they really need a true starting level point guard to help run the offense. Not only that, but you're also without Lonzo's defense, an elite perimeter defender. He was the Bulls' best three-point shooter, shooting over 42% on high volume for a team that doesn't take threes and can't knock them down at an efficient rate on high volume, which is why they don't take that many threes. I mean, say what you will about AK and the roster this front office has constructed. I think we can all agree what they put together was not conducive to NBA basketball in 2023, and I think we're all pretty frustrated with the lack of changes that needed to be made when this roster clearly isn't sustainable for success over time. But Lonzo getting injured like this for a player they signed when he was 23 completely derailed their plans for how they were going to structure this franchise, both for now and for the future. No one could have foreseen this was going to happen to Lonzo, where he would play a half season on his contract and then just never come back. Sure, you could say, well, they should have known that he was an injury-prone player before they signed him. Yes, but he was also starting to play more consistently without having these long stints of injuries in that final year in New Orleans. And when you're only 23, you have to think they're able to bounce back and recover as they start nearing their prime. You just can't foresee that. Anyway, I don't know where the Bulls go from here as it relates to filling that point guard spot. I guess they do in fact extend Coby White now, despite my comments from the video earlier this morning. Maybe they extend Patrick Beverley for one more year. I don't know. That really doesn't move the needle for this team either. They need a true point guard, and I don't see where they're going to be able to get it with the limited cap space they have, especially with the money they have guaranteed to Lonzo for the next 2 seasons after this one. Jeez, not a good time to be a Bulls fan right now. This whole season has just sucked. That win last night, though, against the Nuggets, that was great. Check out my post-game video from last night if you missed it. Anyway, guys, as always, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.